honor of representing over 2,000 education workers across the Toronto Catholic District School Board. We're here today to shine a light on the violence that's happening, not only here in Toronto Catholic, but across schools across the province. Shame. Violence that is directly caused by the Ford government's severe underfunding of public education. I've worked for the TCDSB for nearly 20 years as a child and youth worker. I know firsthand what it means to care for students, to help them regulate, to offer them strategies to prevent crises before they start. But that kind of work, the preventative, proactive support, has all but disappeared. And what has replaced it? Violence. Every single day. Our members are being bitten, punched, kicked, scratched. They're having antibiotics prescribed for puncture wounds. Educational assistants are getting their hair pulled out. They're being sent to the hospital for CAT scans because the projectiles are being thrown across classrooms. And that's just a few recent examples. Absolutely. One member recently told me a good day is when she's only hit 3 or 4 times. The sad reality of this is this is what it has come to. Violence is becoming normalized within our education system. Education workers are told that violence is just part of their job. And let me be clear, this isn't rare, this is not a once in a while, it's daily, it's constant, it's systematic. And it's a direct result of the chronic underfunding and crisis and understaffing across the Ontario school boards. The Ford government, the Ford government continues to gut our education system, and we're left trying to put out fires with little to no backup or support. There's no more time for academics, no more time for connection, there's no value in therapeutic rapport. The schools have become reactive and dangerous. You're right. It's not just unsafe for workers, it's unsafe for all students. While we're managing violent outbursts in the corner of the classroom, the rest of the class is rating, watching, hearing, seeing. Besides the violence that is facing our education system, what breaks my heart, not only as an education worker, but as a parent. That's you. It's the quiet middle, those students, who just need that little extra bit of time, someone to sit with them, someone to help keep them on track, someone to help break down the tasks so they can be successful. And it's these students who not long ago received the support of an education worker. And these are the students that have given half the chance they will change the world. But they're being forgotten, they're being left behind, and they're falling through the cracks of the education system by the Ford's government's systematic dismantling of it. The system is failing our students, but I want to be clear. This failure is not the fault of our staff or any of our students. It is the fault of the Ford government. Our members love the work they do. They love their students. But the schools just don't have the support they need to help the students be successful. So let me say this clearly. This is not sustainable. This is not safe, and this is not acceptable. We need serious investment now. We're calling on the TCDSB and the government to hire hundreds more frontline staff, education workers, bring back the preventative support, restore the in-school counseling and the in-school roles that we have lost. We're not asking for luxuries. We're asking to bring the schools back to a basic level of safety. We're here to protect our members. We're here to protect our students, and we're here to protect our schools. Everyone deserves to get up in the morning and go to school, go to work, and feel safe. And right now, they don't. So today, we raise our voices, we demand action, and we won't stop until our classrooms are safe again. For every student, for every worker, every single day. And now I have the incredible opportunity to introduce someone that I work with every day, a fierce advocate for 1328, our Vice President and Grievance Officer, Lisa Townsend.
Okay, to say I'm nervous is like, it's an understatement, but here I am. Hello everyone, and we're so grateful to see all of you here today. As Sharon said, my name is Lisa Townsend, and I'm proud to serve as the Vice President of CUPE 1328. I've worked for the Toronto Catholic District School Board for over 20 years. And over those 2 decades, I've seen a heartbreaking shift in our schools. The support system that once helped our students thrive, school-wide counselors, preventative programs, one-to-one supports, they've been stripped away piece by piece. Yes. We used to have enough staff to build relationships with our students, to intervene early, to help students before things escalate. But now we're in a full-blown crisis mode, constantly reacting, constantly short-staffed, and constantly stretched too thin. And who's to pay the price? Our students. They're not getting the help that they need to feel excuse me, safe, supported, and ready to learn. And then our members, who are being punched, kicked, bitten, and physically assaulted, as Sharon said, every single day. And as Sharon said again, I'll reiterate, it's not just a bad day or an isolated incident. It's a systemic failure caused by years of chronic underfunding and understaffing. Violence in our schools is being normalized, and that is something that we will never accept, ever. That's not what we're here for. We're calling for real investments in staffing, in student supports, in safety. Every student deserves care. Every worker deserves protection. And it's time that we fix what's broken before more harm is done. Thank you so much for coming out showing support.
And now I have the pleasure of introducing Joe Trigiani, the President of OSBCU.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you feel the energy here today, people? My name is Joe Trigiani, and I'm the proud President of the Ontario School Board Council of Unions. I'm proud to stand with my fellow CUPE local presidents today, leaders who represent thousands of frontline education workers across this province. We're here because Ontario schools and our kids deserve better. Together, we're raising the alarm because what's happening in Ontario schools is nothing short of a full-blown crisis. Over the past 8 years, the Ford government has stripped billions of dollars from our publicly funded education system. The result is chronic underfunding, rising violence, and students who are being failed by the system that no longer meets their basic needs. Members are telling us the same thing from every corner of this province. Students are not getting the supports they need. Workers are being put in harm's way just for showing up to do the job they love. Incidents of violence are skyrocketing, not because of bad or broken students, but because the system itself is broken. When there aren't enough adults in a room, and when supports are cut, everyone suffers. And what's this government's response? Instead of investing in schools, they're doubling down on power grabs, like Bill 33. A dangerous, anti-democratic piece of legislation that is designed to distract from the Ford government and Calander's failures. We won't be distracted. We won't be silent. Ontario's education system is at a breaking point, and the cost is being paid in stress, burnout, trauma, and it's the children who are falling through the cracks. We're demanding immediate action. Fund our schools properly. Hire more education workers in the province of Ontario. Keep our workers and our students safe. This fight isn't just about saying no to Ford. It's about saying yes to our kids, yes to our schools, and yes to a better future. Together, let's make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. That was very powerful. And now we have the pleasure of welcoming Rebecca Avery, President of CUPE 7575. Sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here with us today. As she said, I'm Rebecca Avey, President of CUPE Local 7575. That's out of London area, so southwestern Ontario. We represent educational assistants and student support supervisors. I worked as an educational assistant for about 20 years before becoming president of 7575. I've seen the learning conditions change from a model that was student-focused and very supportive to a model that is now reactive and lacking supports. Right now, all we're trying to do as education workers is to get students and workers through their day safely, and that is the absolute bare minimum. Our school boards are in crisis, education workers are in crisis, and our students are in crisis, which all stems from our provincial funding being in complete crisis. It is only October, and already our members are burnt out, stressed out, and our students are suffering. We have about 2,000 members through 7575 at the Thames Valley District School Board. 10 years ago, our job was to provide educational assistance to small groups of students, supporting them with their academic needs and emotional stresses. We worked with small groups of kids, supporting learning and social emotional development. Now, we rarely do that. Our job has become about protecting students, our coworkers, and ourselves from violence every single moment of every single day. Our primary role at this point is behavioral support for students who are struggling to self-regulate within the entire system. Our classrooms are frequently evacuated because of violent episodes, completely disrupting a learning environment for all students within that environment. The impact this has had on the physical and mental health of students and workers is enormous. The crisis in understaffing means there's not enough support to meet student needs. There's not enough training for staff, there's not enough staff in classrooms, and there's not enough resources and tools to adequately support the complex needs of the students that we serve. I want to emphasize, just as everyone else did, this is not the fault of students. They are being failed by a system and a government that does not support their needs. We need the government to implement a plan for concrete action immediately. We need to drastically increase funding. We need to increase services for mental health for students. We need to increase health and safety protocols for workers. And we need more appropriate training and education staff and substantially more funding for the government to do this. 7575, along with all the other locals here, are calling on the government to take action and do this immediately to support our communities and the students we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. And next to the mic, I have the honor of introducing Tracy Cooper, President of 4186.
Hey everyone, my name is Tracy Cooper and I'm the President of CUPE 4186 out of London with the Catholic School Board. Before I took on this role, I worked for 19 years as an educational assistant with the Catholic School Board and some time with the Public Board. I know this work, I've lived it, and now I represent nearly 2,000 CUPE education workers who are the backbone of our schools. I'm here today because what's happening in our schools is unacceptable. Our members are being hit, kicked, spat on, groped, and screamed at. They've had chairs thrown at them, tables overturned, and their hair pulled. And they're showing up again the next day, but they're exhausted, burned out, and traumatized. This is not just about bad days at work. This is about a crisis that's being ignored. And the blame lies squarely at the feet of Doug Ford and his government. We are chronically short-staffed. When someone calls in sick, they are often not replaced. I've spoken to members who are doing 2 or even 3 jobs at a time without extra pay just to keep the students safe, and it's not sustainable. I have members who are afraid to take a day off because they don't want to leave their colleagues short. But then they push themselves until they break and even end up on stress leave. And the system is failing them, and it's failing our students. We didn't choose this work for the money. We do it because we care about kids. But education workers are leaving in droves. Why? Because the government won't properly fund the supports we need. And now they're even underfunding our health benefits, so workers can't access the care that they need to recover. Premier Ford, if you truly care about education, about students, about safety, about mental health, then it's time to act. Fund education properly. Fund staffing. Fund supports, because we cannot allow this violence to continue, not against our students and not against the workers who care for them every day. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tracy. Next, I'd like to welcome MPP Chris Glover. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Okay. That's good. So my name is Chris Glover. I'm the MPP for Spadina Fort York. I'm also a parent. I was a teacher. I was a school board trustee. And before becoming an MPP, I was a proud CUPE member. And like all the education workers who are here today, we went into education because we love kids. And today we have come to fight for kids, to fight for students, to fight for their future, because this government is failing them. This government has cut $1,500. Oh, I know, speech just right away. Anyways, this government, it's okay. This government has cut $1,500 per student per year from our education system. They've increased the class sizes in secondary schools from 22 to 28. That led to 4,000 high school teachers being cut. They've cut tens of thousands of staff members from our schools. I was at a school last week. I was talking to a community youth worker, and he said that he keeps getting laid off, and then there'll be an incident at the school, and they'll bring him back in. They should not have to wait for an incident to bring community youth workers into our schools, and this government needs to provide the funding so that we have community youth workers and other staff to keep our students safe and to keep our staff safe. So I want to thank CUPE for organizing this rally today. This is a bigger fight than we've ever faced in our schools. This government has seized control of our schools from the democratically elected trustees who have been running them since 1816. And their goal is to privatize the schools. I got involved in the late 90s when Mike Harris, as Minister of Education, said he wanted to create a crisis in our schools. This government is doing the same thing. They're creating a crisis in our schools in order to privatize the system, and our students and the education workers in the schools are paying the price of their political agenda. We need to push them off of that agenda. We need them to stand up and fight for our students, to fund our schools so that our students have the futures that they are capable of. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today.
Now I have the honor of welcoming MPP Jessica Bell.
I love the hugs. It's really nice. I'm Jessica Bell, I'm the MPP for University Rosedale, and I'm so proud to be standing with you here today. I'm a parent, my kids go to public schools, and as a parent and as an elected official, I am so concerned that some of the largest school boards in North America are running on a shoestring budget. That is a shame. You know, I don't think these decision makers really understand exactly what is happening in our schools right now. We've got very large class sizes. You know, we heard today we've got evacuations, we've got violence against workers, against students. You know, we've got buildings that are not properly maintained. We've got workers that are burnt out, and it's only October. Your stories are very, very clear. Well, that should not be happening in Ontario today. It should not be happening. And I'd like to send a message to Paul Calandra and the Conservatives that we don't need to bring in supervisors that get paid over $300,000 a year. We need mental health workers. We need school board trustees. We need to send a message to Calandra and the Conservatives that we don't want taxpayer money spent on those silly partisan ads that they're putting on those schools saying they're fixing our schools and everything is fine. We just want our schools fixed. And we don't want these Conservatives, to launch an attack on school board trustees and go after trustees because, they took someone out and spent money on a milkshake. No. What we want is our schools to be properly funded, enough education workers and teachers in the classroom, and for our schools to be safe and excellent learning environments for workers and students. That is what we want. Doug Ford, he likes to take long vacations. So we are not going back until October 20. But when we go back on October 20, we are going to be standing with you and organizing and raising issues in the legislature because we expect good schools, we expect safe schools, and we're going to be organizing with you until we get that done. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And last but certainly not least, please welcome CUPE Ontario President Fred Hahn.
Let me start by saying thank you. Thank you to the education workers who every day, go to work, who make our schools better and stronger, who support our kids in some of the toughest environments. Thank you to all of you. You are heroes in our schools. My name's Fred Hahn. I am the president of CUPE Ontario. There are 55,000 school board workers in every corner of Ontario, and they're all part of our union. I'm proud to be in that union with them. But they are part of a union that has over 300,000 members in municipalities and universities and hospitals and long-term care, and all of our members understand this to be true. Violence is not part of the job. I'm a social worker. I worked with kids with intellectual disabilities. I know that some of the behaviors that some young people engage in is out of frustration. Sometimes it's their way of communicating. And we know that if there were more of us, if there were more workers, if there were more supports for those kids, that they would be more successful. We know that the violence that is happening in our schools is not the fault of children, not the fault of workers. We have a provincial government. I can't remember now. I think it was Jamie West who actually said the new crust of the Conservatives. It's this. It's everybody else's fault. It must be somebody else's fault over there. It has to be the trustees' fault, right? No, it's not their fault. It has to be the workers' fault. They're not, we're not doing our jobs. No, we know the truth. $6 billion is missing from our schools because of the Ford Conservatives. And so today, I'm so grateful that this rally helps to bring together people to make a clear message. This is the beginning of a campaign that will continue. It will continue until there is funding in our schools. It will continue until there are enough education workers in our schools. It will continue until our schools are actually what our kids need. And it doesn't matter. They think they've got power, the Ford Conservatives. What they don't understand is that there are more of us than there are of them. just commissioned a poll. We asked people in the province of Ontario what they think is going on in schools. People see through this government. They know the crisis in schools is directly related to the underfunding of the Ford Conservative government. And so, we're just about to start a convention with our national union. There will be over 2,000 delegates from coast to coast to coast there. We will join together with education workers in Ontario. We will fight together. We will win this battle because we are on the right side of history. Now, repeat after me, would you? Because I think it's really important for us to remember. We have to believe we can win this fight. So, I believe. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that we. I believe that we. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that.
Supports, the visibility means the world to our members, to our students. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming here today and making this visible and telling the Ford government that this is their fault, the underfunding, the understaffing, the dangerous schools that our workers are facing. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate each and every one of you. There's burgers and hot dogs and food for all of you. Help yourselves, enjoy. And a group photo before you get your lunch. Everybody behind!